you carry a log of wood that is cricket infested into your house, you should understand that in the middle of the night, you will not sleep well. And also, when you swallow the agbalumo with its seed, you must ensure that your anus is wide enough for that seed to be excreted out. What is going on in Kano State, wherein the Emir of Rano, one of the local governments in the Kano municipal, is they are telling Christians not to hold Christian services in their residential homes. This is the extent of the Islamic expansionism. This is how the Sharia agenda works. So, my friends in the Southwest, the Southeasterners, and of course the Middle Belters, whom have experienced, they've experienced how these people work, sending us alarms of warning that the very day you allow Sharia in one state of the Southwest, you recognize it, you pass it into the law, then the Christians in their entirety are at risk. Just imagine in Kano State, the Emir of Rano telling people who are Christians who want to hold their Christian services in their own compartments, their own private abode. They are not praying on the streets. They are not taking it to junctions. They are not having open crusade. This is under their own roof, and they are being instructed. No any form of Christian service should be done, whether in your house. What does this imply? It implies that Sharia is not religious tolerance. Sharia is simply a system that does not allow religious democracy. Sharia is a tool used by the Fulanis to take away the culture, the belief systems of people that it is superimposed upon. So, I don't know why some elements in the Southwest, most especially in Iwo, in Oyo, at those sides of Ibarapa, Ogun State, Shaki, Iseyin, and even some side in Ife, are hell-bent, hell-bent on accepting and welcoming this Sharia. They are now even issuing statements like, and this one was even said by the Imam General of Lagos State Central Mosque. Do you remember that man that hung that banner to provoke Christians that Jesus is not God? That Jesus can never be God. Knowing fully well that some people see Jesus as God, but he comes outside, he is not sensitive of the environment he is. He thinks that this is just a Muslim-dominated area. And they are only lucky because the Christians are not built to be aggressive. The Christians they are ready to die for their religion, while the Muslims are ready to kill. So that is the difference in the ideology of the two different religions. One, you are ready to be killed for your religion, while the other one, you are ready to kill for your religion. So the affair of that Central Mosque, Lagos State, saying that nobody should vote for any governor, any political leader that is against the Islamization of Southwest. That when you come out and say that you want to ensure your state remains secular, you want your states to remain religious tolerant, irrespective of whatever religion, whatever God that you think you want to serve, it is your own personal, it's your own personal business. Nobody cares, and there should be a very big gap between governance and religion. But the Sultan of Sokoto wants that to he doesn't want that to be the case. What the Sultan wants is this. He wants The religious leaders, they should be the one, directing the government. Okay, they should be the one directing the government. They should be the ones selecting your leaders by, fake prophecies and fake visions, wherein they project using some, some just fakely made and fakely baked prophecies. So you can see why in the Southwest we must be very careful. Your brothers who are in the Middle Belt, who are steadily warning us, because they've experienced it, they've experienced it like in real. They know that these guys, they come in like they are peaceful, but of course, by the night, these guys are deadly. They will present to you a Trojan horse gift. They present to you a Trojan horse gift, telling you we are a religion of peace. We are man of peace. We don't want to cause issues. We just want to live. Just accept us. Let us practice this in full. Let us pass it into the law. This was the same thing they said in Ilorin before Afonja was toppled. The same thing they are saying now in Iwo. In fact, the Abba of Iwo is now a full-fledged Sharia person who wants to convert, the throne, the traditional throne of Iwo. He wants to convert it into under the caliphate. You can see how they operate. The same thing is now being introduced in Lagos State, whereby the Afar, the Imam General of Lagos State that is known as the face of Nigeria, any diaspora, any expatriate, any foreigner that wants to check up about Nigeria, when you click on the social media or any search engine and types in the biggest city, the most beautiful city, the most welcoming city, it is Lagos. Now they want to convert that Lagos. They want to attack the center of excellence. They want to attack the heartbeat of the Western economy, or should I even say the Southern economy. That is their target. And when they succeed in achieving this by attacking, by introducing this, their Islamic agenda, the Islamic conquest, that Afar, if it's not picked up, if it's not being apprehended, being remanded and, warned that he should stay away from the politics, pushing such divisive words that nobody should vote for someone who is not ready to push the Islamic agenda is highly dangerous, and it must be warned for it. Otherwise, Nigeria Southwest will be compromised. And when Lagos is taken, I tell you, every other state in Southwest will be taken. I cannot say of the Southeast, but I know that every other state in the Southwest will be taken if this is not taken. What is happening in Kano State today is a warning, a precursor, a scenario noteworthy that even Christians, even in their houses now, cannot practice their religion. They are not going outside. They are not going to the mosque. They are not going anywhere. They are not even going to the street. Even in their own room and parlor, they cannot practice their Christianity, because the Emir of Rano has issued an instruction that anybody caught should be dealt with and should be mobbed, and of course, maybe even unalived. These are the risks, and these are things that the Christians must wake up, and these are what the Yorubas must learn for, because the Islam agenda, this Islamic conquest, is fully alive. Okay, so El-Rufai is shouting that nuts are the real kingmakers. Let us quickly go into history and see how Obasanjo won the 2003 election. Yeah, as you can see on my screen, as you can see that from what we have here, all the way from the Middle Belt down to the south, southeast and southwest, Obasanjo was able to get 24 million, while Buhari scored 12.49, approximately 12.49 a million. And what does that mean? This simply means that a person like Peter Obi, who in the last election did not, not really bad, can win an election in Nigeria without the El-Rufais, without the Buharists, as it were. If you take a look at that map again, you will see that all the way from Plateau to your left, Kebbi, to your right, Bauchi, down to Taraba, down to the Kogi, Ilorin, Nasarawa, then to southwest, you can see that a candidate can always come from any of that region without the so-called Fulanis, issuing words of threat that no person, no man, no individual can become a Nigerian president if they do not endorse or vote for him massively. If El-Rufai comes out and be specific that they made Tinubu the president, I don't think anybody will agree. But it is insulting for El-Rufai to sit on an high horse and thinking he's dishing out orders and threats that nobody can become a president if the Norths do not vote for him. Now, for El-Rufai's information, and this information even goes beyond El-Rufai, this goes to all the Fulani caliphates, all the Fulani oligarchs, all the Fulani political juggernauts who think they are the kingmakers in the Nigerian politics. Here is the information, and here's the breaking news. The Middle Belt is not part of the North. Yes. And that is the politics Tinubu has understood it, and he has taken it upon himself that since the likes of El-Rufai and since the likes of this Borno guy, Zulum, Shetima, because they are all working in cahoot. You can see that Shetima has been quiet. They know what they are doing. When the likes of Atiku has them as the mole in Tinubu's government, trying to ensure they hit him right from inside like a log of wood with what? With crickets. You get the point? So Tinubu has seen that if I rely on these guys, because I am not ready to do their biddings, I am not ready to be at their beck and call, because I will not watch and allow the Sultan to achieve his agenda, to Islamize, to Fulanize, and of course to Sharia-nize the whole of South. I am a liberal Muslim, and that is what the Yorubas have always been known for. Understandably, we have some, little Yorubas who are Muslim extremists, but they are in their minority. And we can see how the Sultan has tried to just spark up that religious divide, whereby those minority extremists who live in the Yoruba land have been sort of speaking up, trying to be vocal. But I like what they've done. They've silenced them and they've sent a stern warning to Sultan. In fact, I'm going to get to that point in this my conversation. Let me go back to this issue of El-Rufai. So you can see, Tinubu has seen this and he has said, okay, what are we going to do? What is the weakest link in this Fulani hegemony? And he has seen that the weakest has always been where the attacks has always been recurrent, and that is in the Middle Belt. And this includes the Plateau, this includes the Nasarawa, this includes Kogi, Niger. Okay, Niger to some extent are defeated because the governor has come out to say that, well, we welcome Fulanis, but the Kogi, the Plateau, the Nasarawa have always said no. We are not in any way related, affiliated, similar. We do not think like those that reject Western education. We are civilized, developed, we are Christians, and we are people who are progressive. We don't want to be stuck in that Muhammad jihadism system of government. We are progressive in nature. We want to be adaptive to the new technologies that is happening around the world. And this is why you see that Tinubu has now opened a developmental commission. He has also pushed some few political agendas, appointing the CDS from Southern Kaduna. The Southern Kaduna people today are beginning to see themselves as a real owner of their territory. They are no longer lost voices. You can see them. Tinubu came out and he has inaugurated a federal government university for Southern Kaduna. These are all games, and these are the things that are throwing the likes of El-Rufai off balance. It is throwing them off balance. They cannot believe what is happening to them. It's more or less like they are confused. Asking the question, you rode on our back of this Muslim ticket. If Tinubu was a Christian, you wouldn't have seen the likes of El-Rufai and so many other people that stood still behind Tinubu during that campaign period. I think why Tinubu remained to be a Muslim all along was just for only this goal to deceive the North. I think that is the only reason why he stood, why he remained, because he doesn't act like a true Muslim. Ever since he became president, we started seeing him going to mosque every Friday, and then they make it a photo op thing. You know, they always show it as a photo showcasing. When Tinubu wasn't the president, we hardly see him in mosques. We only know on paper that he's a Muslim. Most times we see Tinubu going to church. We see him, his wife and his sons. You know, we hardly hear him being a religious, serious follower or a practitioner. What we know is he's a mild Muslim. He doesn't care. No true practicing Muslim that believes in the Hadith and Quran principles that will allow his wife to practice any other religion. It is only in the Yoruba land you will see such. You don't see such in the north. You won't see such in Dubai or Saudi Arabia. It is only in the Yoruba land wherein they practice this liberalized Islamism. And this is why, you know, they felt maybe Tinubu would having gained the support of the Sultan and the Fulanis in their large majority. Maybe when he gets there, when they start pushing some religious agenda to him, then maybe they will be able to have that completion of their conquest that they started in 1804. But Tinubu has come out to say that, yes, I saw what Pantani wrote. Pantani, as at 2010, wrote that the jihad must expand into Jos, because Jos seems to be the stopping block, the hurdle, the bottleneck that has been impeding the further expansion of Islam. And this dates even before 2010. But Bantani came out, he wrote a communique with an instruction there that is destructive, that all the religion institution that is not Islam should be taken down, and a small portion of land at the borderline should be selected for them, and they all should be moved because they do not deserve to be at the center of the city, because all the north should be seen as one and they all should be state practicing Sharia. Pantani was a guy who controlled the digital informations of Nigeria in the last 8 years under Buhari. Under Buhari, we saw how there were serious attacks on Christian farmers. Shortly before Buhari came on board, let me take you back to what I mean, that this Islamic agenda was aggressively pushed under Buhari. Christian farmers who were under Jonathan, that submitted their farm locations, their house address and phone numbers, when Akiwumi Adesina was mapping out farmers in the Nigerian territory.